Welcome. In this talk, you will hear from me, Leyla, and Michele, Cheng, Hannah, and Sijia about how we created space for other voices through our student-staff partnership project to decolonize the psychology course of individual differences.
First of all, it's important to understand what is meant by decolonization in the context of higher education. For this, we must explain the concept of coloniality, and we have chosen here Matahila and Hildegard van Rensburg's definition, which is as follows. Coloniality is an entire system of thinking, mentality, and structure of power framed around a matrix of knowledge from the global north-west, which is then viewed as the only universally acceptable system. Thus, according to the same authors, decolonizing higher education means deliberately seeking authentic representation within the experiences of formerly colonized people in order to disrupt the colonial realities that continue to occur. The University of Glasgow, along with other universities across the global north, have recognized their role in colonialism and how this has shaped research, teaching and learning practice and assessment, and have been taking steps to decolonize higher education. So one example is at Glasgow is through the student-staff partnership scheme, which specifically targets co-creation partnership work between students and academic staff to work together in ways that reflect the commitment of the University of Glasgow's learning and teaching strategy. So there are three strands to the student-staff partnership schemes, which are co-creation, assessment and feedback, and decolonizing the curriculum, and our project sits within that latter strand. So student partners are paid to undertake the project, and they can work up to 110 hours. And our team consists of 2 members of staff and 3 students.
We intended to decolonizing our ID course to firstly give voice to epistemological knowledge coming from marginalized population. We also wanted that our students could feel represented their culture in their learning environment and experience our spaces as a collaborative. Our last was also to provide students with intercultural sensitivity and cultural humility, which can increase their professional integrity and skills when they will be working with a diverse population. To decolonize the ID course, we started to mapping the content of the course in the academic year 2024 to 2025. And we performed it to rapid literature review to have a similar good understanding of the decolonizing our course. We also run semi-structured interviews with students in 2024 to 2025 cohorts. All of this helped us to decide how we could decolonize each lecture, seminar, and course assignment, the reading list, and online activities. Let me now provide some background to the project. Drawing on interviews with 5 academics, robust works, and the experience of our university colleagues, we found that this project is meaningful and beneficial for both teachers and students. Compared to the colonial pedagogy, the decolonial approach focuses more on the collaboration community and multiple perspectives, making concepts and theories more applicable to the different contexts.
So how did we decolonize our content? In the ID lectures, we included reverse cultural perspectives to challenge the definitions of key psychological concepts and theories, which are often considered universal and superior. We also created space for frameworks developed by scholars from marginalized groups whose voices have historically been excluded from psychology. Our seminars became a safe space where students could take time to discuss and share their realities, their experiences of real-world issues, and to use creative strategies, such as films, to move through the discomfort that can come with vulnerability. We also consider which skills psychology students should develop when working with diverse populations, for example, intercultural sensitivity and cultural humility, and we raise concerns about the potential discriminatory use of scales and tests when they are interpreted superficially. The ID assessment was also designed to encourage students to reflect on their own belonging to privileged or not privileged groups and to adopt participatory approaches in their interactions with communities. Here are some reflections on our student-staff partnership project. At the start, we were worried about how and where to begin, and there is little practical material available in this area of psychology, only a few guidelines. As a staff, we felt unsure of our knowledge and lacked confidence, and time pressures and teaching spaces limited some of the changes we hoped to make. However, the collaboration was hugely beneficial, sharing ideas between students and staff and feeling the support of the university strengthened the process. We also realized that the partnership increased our personal cultural humility, reduced the distance between teachers and students, and helped us feel more confident in focusing on learning and teaching grounded in real-world experiences shared by our students.
From the partner student perspectives, we initially felt a bit lost due to the lack of established theoretical frameworks for fully addressing non-Western context, especially since existing frameworks are so often treated as standard or universal. We were so concerned about how we decolonize the material might affect assessment, expectations, accreditation requirements, and how to navigate potential uncomfortable discussions. However, as the project progressed, we became more comfortable and found it generally interesting to deconstruct the ID course. We started committed to decolonizing the course in multiple ways, not just by adapting new content. We enjoyed bringing forward diverse voices and perspectives, and we were especially keen to create safe seminar space for open and thoughtful discussion. So far, we have shared the blog in the UFG Sutton Advanced Calendar in December 2025. We presented our work to the colleagues at the University of Greenwich, and we shared some of our material at the Decolonized the Curricular Community of Practice event. Our supporters have been accepted to be presented at Improving University Teaching Conference in the July 2026.
So some positive feedback that we have received, regarding the decolonizing the curriculum approach. So we had some feedback stating I particularly appreciated the focus on decolonizing the material, as well as the many opportunities the course provided for meaningful student participation and involvement. And then additionally, we had some feedback from the EE's feedback. So one of those points was progressive pedagogical approaches. So that was highlighted. A second piece of feedback was the integration of decolonization and the participatory research through the SSPF, so the Student Staff Partnership Fund, represents innovative curriculum development that is enhancing both the educational quality and the student engagement with diverse perspectives. And then a third piece of feedback from the EE's feedback was that the requirement for the co-creation in intervention proposals develops essential skills for contemporary psychological practice. So yeah, there was some positive feedback about co-creation in the intervention proposals as well.
For the future, we would like to evaluate our decolonial approach more, particularly in relation to the assessment. We also hope to extend our decolonizing work to other courses. We are considering using films more consistently to support decolonizing the curriculum and pedagogy, and to allow more time for discussion in lectures through a flipped class approach. We are in discussion with the British Psychological Society about how to decolonize our psychology curriculum more systematically, and we are planning collaborations with international partners. Overall, we continue to explore and relearn individual differences and other areas of psychology. Thanks for listening.